Hi everyone, Leanne here from Jaded Blossom, and I have another fun card to share with you today. Hey, so I'm using Jaded Blossom's stitched hexagon dies, their gnome dies, their diamond plate stencil, their gnome dies tool add-ons, the Nailed It stamp set and the Nailed It outline dies, along with the card mat dies. And I put that guide together on the gnome dies tool add-ons assembly video. Check that out. And I did this stencil on the April release and review, so check that out. April 2024. I'm also using Doodlebug's Swiss Dot, their dot stripe, their craft and color, the color, and gingham linen. So this is a piece, this is an A2 size card front. You see that I have a boo-boo on there from one of my last videos, but I'm going to cover it up with a piece of Swiss Dot paper that I cut out the card mat die from. So that is that's an A2 size card front, like I said, made out of paper tray ink cardstock, and then the card mat die on top. Now I've got this paper is from that craft and color pad from Doodlebug, using the largest hexagon die, and I'm going to kind of have it tilted at an angle here. There we go. Now everything that I use is always listed on my blog, so you can check out my blog post, for the details. On the inside, I'm going to add a strip of the same paper, and that's just a 1-inch strip, and I'll trim off the overhang with a pair of scissors, using ATG tape. And there we go. Now here's my adorable little construction worker, and he's going to be holding a roll of duct tape. And I'm going to stick the duct tape down with some Barely Art glue. There we go. Now the accent contours on his helmet are made from Basil Bling cardstock, or Basil, depending on how you want to say it. So I'm going to cut a 2-inch strip of this diamond plate. And that was cut. That was made using Nouveau Embellishment Mousse Pure Platinum with kind of like a silver matte cardstock. So I'm figuring out where this next layer is going to go. That is also from the Doodlebug Craft and Color 6-inch pad. There we go. And then I will add my 2-inch strip of that diamond plate. Just trying to decide where it's going to go. There we go. And again, I will cut off the overhang with a pair of scissors once I get it lined up. I'm going to line it up right against the left side of my card. There we are. Isn't that fun? And I'll trim off the overhang with a pair of scissors. Like I said, that stencil, I make that stencil on the April 2024 release and review, so you can check that out. So I'm pulling out Doodlebug's Candy Stripe and Sprinkles and Jaded Blossom's rectangle internal scallop dies, and I'm using the largest one. And I'm just going to cut out, I'm going to be adding that to my 2-inch strip. So I just need kind of roughly 2 inches of that. So that's why it's kind of hanging off the edge. And I'm going to run that through my Anna Griffin Mini Empress machine and cut it out. I think that diamond plate, that area there needs a little pop of color. So that's why I decided to do this. So I'm just going to peel that out. And I'm going to cut it again in some white cardstock in a minute from paper tray ink. But I'm just going to line it up where I want it. And then I'm going to add a little... I'll tape it in place, and then I'm just going to, add a little ink mark so I know where to trim it. You'll see that I'm lining it up with that card mat die. And there we go. I'm just going to add some ink on there just so I know where to cut it. And I'm doing the same thing, but with that paper tray ink white cardstock. I think this is a really neat stencil. The rectangle internal scallop is lots of fun. You can make some great frames. You could make shaker frames, whatever you want to use it for. It's got that great scalloped and stitched detail. So I'm just peeling that out. And then I'm going to line it up in my little mini guillotine trimmer and trim off along those ink lines. I end up cutting it just slightly shorter because I realize I probably should have cut in between the scallops. But I figured that out in a minute. once I stick the white cardstock down with that dark blue cardstock from Doodlebug's Candy Stripe and Sprinkles, you know, on the sprinkle side. So I'm just going to, like I say, add those two together. It just makes it a little bit thicker because there is some dimension on that diamond plate stencil because I used that Nouveau embellishment mousse, which is kind of raised. So I just wanted to make sure that it sticks down well and, you know, it's a little bit thicker. There we go. Now you see that I realized I should have just trimmed off in between the scallop. So there's like a little peak there at the end. I think that doesn't look very good. So I'm just going to trim those off. There we are. And then I will add that to that diamond plate stencil area, trying to line it up somewhat with that card mat die because they're the same size. And it just gives like kind of a, you know, a pop of color, like a little interest, right? And I do weight it down with an acrylic block and let it dry. There we go. I just think it added a little something, right? So next I'm going to pop up this super cute little construction worker with some Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. And he is super cute. I put him together using American Crafts light brown and dark brown cardstock. I used the Doodlebug's gingham linen, Doodlebug's dot stripe, and like I said before, P13 stamping pad skin tones for the skin tones. Those can be bought at the Jaded Blossom store. And yeah, and then I ink blended around his little beard and mustache with Distress ink and ground espresso. But like I said, you could watch me put him together on the release and review, or no, on the Gnome Dies Tool Add Ons assembly video. So check that out. His little shirt is paper triangle white cardstock as well. Not sure if I mentioned that. So I'm just going to peel off the backing. And there we go. Kind of not on screen. I'm doing a crappy job of keeping things on screen for you guys. Sorry. There we are. Well, you can see me put this one on at least. Okay, and then I'm going to add him to the lower right of my card front. And isn't he cute? You'll see that there's a highlight that I put on his duct tape with Secure White Jelly Roll pen and a number 10. So I'm going to pop up the sentiment with some Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. That was stamped onto paper triangle white cardstock with VersaFine Claire Nocturne ink. And I'm just going to make sure that's all, you know, the same level, and peeling off all that release paper. So the sentiment says, duct tape fixes everything. And I'm just going to pop that down onto that diamond plate stencil again. And I'm going to pull out the Embellishment Cluster dies. There we are. And I cut them out of Doodlebug's gingham linen. And then I'm just adding them. I had some of these cut out before from some white cardstock, so I'm just going to layer them up just so they're a little bit thicker. Using my my Studio Katia embellishment wand to pick them up. There we go. And I will weight it down with an acrylic block while they dry. Once I make sure they're all lined up, you know, nice and straight. There we are. So kind of fun, right? And then I will add them to my card front with some Bearly Art Glue. you know, visual groups of 3, all that stuff. I try to keep an odd number on my card front. And I just pull in the blue again, just because, you know, he's wearing blue little overalls, which are kind of fun, right? So I'm going to add a couple more in the upper right-hand corner. And then our card will be done. So there we go. So thank you so much for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. Check out the Jaded Blossom blog in the store if you want to get your hands on these things. And you'll notice that in this picture, I did add the Fixing Everything tag to the inside. So thank you. See you soon. Bye, everybody.